Maya Angelou, the famous, amazing, brilliant poet, said this: people will forget what you said, and people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. We like to think that we are logical people, that we make decisions based in logic and fact and weighing the opportunities, but we do not. We make decisions on how something feels to us.
That's right.
Does it feel good? And if it does feel good, then what we do is we take logic and science and facts and we support how we felt about it, right? So we say this is right. So in our leadership culture, oftentimes we get focused on the elements of do this, X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and you will get the result. But that is not always the case. Because if you make people feel lousy along the way, you might have the greatest idea in the world, but no one's going to follow you. And so as we think about servant leadership, I want to expand our imaginations into this idea of leadership in the future is about how we make people feel. The village mindset, as I want you to think about, is this idea that we are going back to the village. And in the village, everyone's supported. We need to come back to that sort of mindset instead of this idea that we are all individuals on our own journeys and we are all alone. We need to come back to the best of humanity. And the best of humanity says, we're going to empower each other. We're going to support each other. We're going to be connected to one another. We're going to live with the purpose of living for something bigger than ourselves. And we're going to invest in the social structures of those around us. The village mindset reminds us that we are bigger than profit and that we have a capacity for kindness and goodness and connection and community. That is the way we are wired. And the more we live into that, the happier we will be. Servant leadership embraces the principle that a rising tide lifts all ships. It is defined by the focus of the leader on empowering those they lead to help others grow, advance, and flourish, while also providing a safe environment for them to do so, without being focused on their own benefit for this work, assuming the personal risk while sharing the community benefits. We know the opposite leader, don't we? We know the leaders who share the risk. This is on y'all. And if it goes well, I'm going to take the credit, right? The leadership of the future is one to say, if we succeed, you get the credit. And if we don't, I'm taking the blame. Because I'll protect you. I'll protect you. And that's the sort of people that we want to work for. That's the sort of people we want to follow. Because why? Our brain says, they're safe. They're safe. They'll protect me. The best leaders make leaders. The best leaders help people rise. The best leaders use all of their gifts and resources in order to benefit you and you and you, to empower you. They don't take, they give. A good leader inspires people to have confidence in the leader. A great leader inspires people to have confidence in themselves. And you know those leaders. You know those leaders who build you up. And you've been around them for a couple years and you're just like, I feel so good about myself. I believe I can do anything. That's a great leader. That's a servant leader. That's the leader that the world needs. So this sort of DEI work, which is based in servant leadership, that's the why. The why is servant leadership, and it will create belonging, where our communities feel like they're a part of something bigger than themselves, where our companies and our employees feel like they're valued. This is what we're aiming for, is belonging, and I think we can only get there if we try to implement DEI without having the base of servant leadership. It's not going to work, because we're not going to value it. We're not going to value it. And so the base is embracing this idea of servant leadership, because at the end of the journey is the elixir. Servant leadership, DEI, flourishing for our community, empowerment for those who are on the margins and not on the margins. together, we can build a brilliant, beautiful future. I love this. The one who plants trees, knowing that he will never sit in their shade, has at least started to understand the meaning of life. Today, as you go from here, may you be ones who plant trees for the future generations to sit underneath its shade. May you be the tree planters. Thank you.